Hallo, hallo, hallo. Nu is de vraag. Hallo. Hallo, hallo, hallo. Kan een van jullie op je mobiel zoeken naar SIB Livestream? Naar de SIB Livestream. Ja. En als het goed is, zie je hem dan. En dan moet je even luisteren of je het geluid hoort of niet. Hallo, hallo, hallo. Ja? Dus hij doet het in principe wel. Oké. Nou, dan kunnen 2 mensen hier natuurlijk gaan zitten. In principe gaat hij dus wel nu al live, in principe, dus wat we het weten. Not necessarily, no. So we're just gonna do it this way. Ja, als het ligt, even kijken. Ja.
Gaan we dat horen als we niet zitten?
Dat moet dus even getest worden. Ga maar zitten en dan even kijken.
Zal je niet zitten bij kunnen zitten?
Dat kan ook. Huh? Jullie kunnen hier zitten, dan 2 mensen daar en dan wisselen we afgehangen door het uur. Maakt niet uit.
Dit is iets van de muziek.
Banner. Ja, dat is Beamer is ook leuk. Maar, die zit er nog steeds in. Ja, die zit er nog steeds in. Je hebt ook de... Kom maar.
Wat zit daarin? Wacht, kijk nog even. Ja, volgens mij kan je niet kaas van. Ah, ik kan niet zitten. Dat is nog zo veel. Oké, dus we gaan. Wel al de cent geweest. Nou, dus.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and it's so good.
How did you manage to stay on? Oh, I can't change speech on the
I just did my, yeah, all the way up.
Wait, what are we gonna, are we also supposed to talk or only because?
Yeah, we can change somewhere in between.
You could stay there.
I know how much you love the camera.
What are you supposed to say?
Let's see. Some questions coming in.
Some guys joined after. How many
What?
people?
I think in the end,
It was
8 or something.
steady stream of
6,
people.
8.
Yeah.
But like the link wasn't properly
No.
So I
communicated at the beginning. So
So what I was thinking, maybe I can come over.
We just have to sit here, right? We don't have to like participate.
but the idea is that we do change in the hours, right?
Yeah,
So,
if you just change every 20 minutes.
yeah.
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 Jongens, when you talk about SIB, on the internet, on the background, I just put on the website of SIB, where you talk about the in the background.
Here on the website, you can find the events. There you can sign up. There you can find pictures.
Is it in the camera?
Yeah. Hmm? No, because the cameras are not working.
Oh.
We're doing it on laptop.
Oh,
Alright.
the camera just for show.
That's fancy.
Oh. So it's coming from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But why?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't connect it, that's something that didn't work. So this is plan B.
Amber,
Yeah.
could you or Pablo tilt the depth of the water down? The camera angles a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's just that people can ask questions.
And if they don't ask questions, you just
Like this?
awkwardly.
No, you just make a conversation.
Then we make it an interview kind of show.
And a little.
I
don't know.
That's just-
Like, the link
Links?
side.
Draaien? Zo?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you said it on there.
Copy.
I love it. That's
It's good you keep it afterwards.
Yeah.
No.
Shall we go?
Yeah. So, just for the idea, the sound being recorded with the microphone of the laptop. Technically, you're live.
Can we start?
So probably after this, everybody's gonna laugh, but what kind of preparation?
Can we see how many people are watching this?
Yeah, I'll keep track of it by the computer screen over.
What's kind of like, what are we talking about there?
We're just
When
gonna
no one
talk,
asks questions, like,
we're gonna talk
Are people asking questions?
Huh?
Are people asking questions?
via the chat.
Could you ask
yeah,
someone
someone
coming
needs
asking
to
questions?
monitor the chat then, because
Yeah.
you can't see it.
Maybe one of you check their questions.
Yeah, I can do it, but I'm not in the Wi-Fi.
Let's see if we can see it over here. Learn more.
Can they hear us actually?
Yes, they can hear you right now.
Yeah. It's not even 8 yet. Huh?
No, it's not even 8 yet.
Do we have the links somewhere?
Yeah, tonight in SIB live stream.
Oh, on YouTube?
The one with the nice picture.
Yes.
Which one?
I can see there's one more person watching right now.
Promotion.
Is it you, Paul, watching?
Oh, 20 minutes ago. This one was. Oh, but that's already done.
I don't think I have to like 35 minutes in the live stream.
Oh, our videos on YouTube as well. How cute. Well, are you sure we are online? Because I like live. Because I don't use.
We are online right now. I can hear everything that you guys are saying.
Is the text of the website now at the opposite direction?
Oh, I can see.
Um,
But I can only see Jared's with no one.
no, that's the wrong. I think this one is the right one.
Okay.
It says live now.
But here it says 26, which is today at 8. Ah,
Yeah, okay, I'm right.
which one?
It's the one with the
We already struggled with this. So initially,
It's if you type SIB-Amsterdam live stream, and then it's the one with the feedback.
Okay, 10 people are watching right now.
Should we start then?
what's the time?
Should we start?
And for the people who have a laptop over here, maybe it's people have earplugs if you want to listen.
Can you
I can even hear myself right now. So.
Yeah, I can't find it here. I'm just going to watch it like.
Right.
Yes, I was.
Okay, should we start? Okay, for everyone watching this, welcome. This is the SIB live stream for Utah. Tonight we'll be trying to explain a bit what SIB is all about, give you some background information, tell you a bit about what we do. So it's good to start introducing ourselves.
Sure. I'm Nura. I'm the secretary for this upcoming year. So you'll be seeing a lot of me if you join SIB.
And I'm Willem. I will be the chair of SIB this year, and some other of the board members are here as well, and they will also be speaking tonight to you about a bit. So maybe we just start with a general introduction about what is SIB about. SIB is the in Dutch Studentenvereniging voor Internationale Betrekkingen. And we also have the English name, which is DUNSA, Dutch United Nations Student Association. And as the title says, we're focusing much on international relations and politics, international politics. We organize lots of events, and they are based on a wide variety of activities. We do lectures, we do external visits to organizations, to embassies. We travel a few times a year. We have drinks and some other social activities as well to also focus on that part. So we have a bit of everything, I think. Of course, everything is now a bit different due to coronavirus. So also the introduction week, which we will be having, will also be different. Maybe you can tell a bit about the introduction.
Yeah, our introduction week starts on the 7th of September, and we'll have several activities that you can join for absolutely free. You don't have to become a member. And our website, as shown behind us right here, SIB-Amsterdam.com. You can see all the events there, and you can check out which ones you want and sign up for the Google Docs form just so that we know how many people are coming.
Yeah, so especially you can join any activity you like, and we hope you do. I think you probably know the schedule by hand.
We'll see, yes.
On Monday we start with an event organized by the Committee of Personal Development, and we'll be focusing on negotiation skills. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
So that's on Monday.
Diplomatic negotiation.
Diplomatic negotiations. So that's focused on personal skill training. On Tuesday.
On Tuesday, there's a webinar with the UNHCR. So they'll be talking about refugee crises and how that is also affecting the world as well.
Yes, and then on Thursday we have an event on the United Nations, and their 75 years of existence. And in that event we will be having Karel van Oosten with us from New York. He's the Dutch permanent representative to the United Nations, so he knows. He has a lot to tell about that event. And on Friday we have pub quiz.
Yes. So we have one more social event in the week as well where you can meet some of your maybe fellow city members.
Yes, and then we end the week on Saturday, and we'll be having an MUN. We also have an MUN committee within SIB, which organizes multiple MUNs a year, if I'm correctly, and also participates in MUNs not only in the Netherlands but also abroad. So it's also super nice to join if you're interested in doing MUNs or doing MUNs for the first time. On Saturday, in the introduction week, we will have. They will also be open to people who are completely new in MUNs. So maybe that's a good opportunity to try that out. Maybe something about committees.
Yeah, all our events are organized by different committees. So we have lots of members in different committees, some of them in more than one committee. We have for social activities, for intellectual activities, for external activities, so visiting organizations, for example. What else?
And travel committee.
Travel committee, yes. Maybe we won't be doing as much of that this year, but we hope to be doing some traveling at the end of the year, maybe.
Yeah. So for us, doing this board year is also going to be different than the people who did it before us, because of course we're kind of limited now in what we can organize.
Guys, if the sound quality is not that good with distance, maybe it's like little switch it up and just grab the laptop. Just keep it close.
Should we sit by
You
closer?
can sit closer.
We're also gonna plug in the microphone, external microphone.
Should we continue for a bit more and then speak up louder a bit?
Yeah.
So we were on traveling.
Yes.
And normally we travel a bit more, and we organize also visits to other places in the Netherlands, to organizations and NGOs and such. But now we're doing much more online, which is also a nice opportunity, because as we do in the introduction week, we can also now do live connections with people in other countries. So that's super interesting as well. Can I have a microphone?
Yeah.
Is that clear? Better? Hello? Is that sound good? Hallo Bob, ook in Door. There's also something about society.
Yes. Aside from societies, we also have, or aside from committees, we also have several societies. So these are more social groups that come together every month, every week, and they have different themes. So there's one that cooks together, one that goes to cultural activities together. Society group.
Cinemates.
Cinemates, we watch movies together.
So yeah, that's also really the way to focus on social activities as well. I think one question we got also was when on Monday, I mean, with food event, was if there's an hazing in SIB. Some people would like to know before joining an association. And I totally get that people have that question. No, we do not have a hazing at all. You can just join and come to events, especially the first few times. You don't even have to be a member. It's just really we're always open to new people to try it out and to come and meet with us. Kunnen we zo doorgaan, Bob?
Yeah, let's continue with we're going to work on the audio.
Okay. Yeah.
You can hear it.
So yes, did we get some questions already? Okay, so this year we'll also be celebrating the 40th anniversary of SIB, which means we will have the Lustrum week in this spring. So that's also, I think, something that makes this year a bit more special, even though right now it's still a bit unclear how this week will look like. Because we're probably going to have a congress as well and some other activities to celebrate that we have 40 years of existence. What's interesting to know about SIB maybe is that also we're not only in Amsterdam, but we also have SIB cities in Leiden, Utrecht, and Groningen. So there's also some opportunities in the year to connect with them, to meet people who are a member in those SIB cities, which is really nice.
Well, there's normally a gala where you can meet all these other cities, and we hope to do that maybe in the year maybe. But we'll have to see how everything goes.
Yeah, so the gala is organized with all the SIB cities together, and last year it was in Amsterdam, and it's super nice to be able to meet even more people than you normally have within SIB-Amsterdam. Some people also wonder, I think, how big is SIB-Amsterdam. We have about 200 members. Of course, some people are a bit more active than others, especially because we do not have any obligations. Some people only attend a few events each year, while others may appear every week, for example. So it's totally up to the members to decide on how many events and which kinds of events they would like to join. Oh yeah, drinks. Normally we have, of course, on Wednesday the drinks. We've been trying to do it a bit as well in the summer, now that cafes and restaurants are opening again. For now, we sadly have to cancel them, also because, of course, the government has more strict rules again for student associations. So in the International Week, we would normally really like to see all those new faces, but sadly we cannot do that as of now. But of course, we hope that as soon as possible we'll be able to do that, especially for people who just moved to Amsterdam or first-year students, because we also really want to be a place where people connect and where people meet friends. So yeah, that's really something that we also aim to reintroduce as soon as possible. But of course, also we have to abide by the rules and the laws of the Corona pandemic. So that's really something that we're trying to balance. So as of now, sadly no drinks, but we do have a lot of online activities. Also, as Mila said, pub quiz in the International Week. So we're not forgetting about the social events that people might expect from us. We still try to do them, even though it's sometimes a bit difficult. But that's, I think, why it's so good that we have these committees, which are full of people who are super enthusiastically working on these events, coming up with new things. Because, as I just said as well, this pandemic also gave new opportunities in the sense of online activities, connecting with more people also from their homes. So I think that's also super nice about this this situation, that people really try to make the best out of it. Why did you join SIB?
That is a good question. Well, I came to Amsterdam and I didn't know anyone, so I decided I wanted to make new friends, and SIB was really interesting. So I decided to.
We have a question over here.
Mhm.
Will most activities be held online or offline through the third semester?
In the first semester, most activities will be held online. I think as soon as we hear that we are allowed to do something offline, we would like to, maybe something outside. But until we get the green light for that, everything will have to be online.
Yeah. Yeah, so we don't have a full semester planning, of course. We're really looking at events week by week, month by month. So right as of now, we don't have any idea how it will be, of course, in a few months from now. Like Nina said, as soon as possible, we'll try to also provide an opportunity for people to meet within SIB. But it is really our highest priority as well that everything is done in a safe manner. So yeah, it's about finding the balance. But as of now, everything that is planned for now is online. But certainly do follow Facebook and Instagram as well to see our events and also see there if we're going to have an offline opportunity again, face-to-face meetup. That's the place where we share it as soon as we know more. So yeah, that's really, I think, good to keep an eye on Facebook, Instagram, and the website for the events and everything that's happening in SIB.
Then the second question goes on me, Ian. Can I join the association without being an international relations student?
That's also the student background.
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, yes, absolutely. You can join with any background. That's part of what I personally love about SIB. We have people from so many different backgrounds, both nationality-wise and study background-wise, that you get a really diverse group of people. So yes, you can.
Yeah, I think I'm a typical SIB student. I do study international relations, and of course, many other people in SIB also do. But no, there's really many different backgrounds indeed. Sometimes I'm even surprised by the amount of different studies people do. And I think this is also really what makes it super interesting. It's international, it's broad in the sense of the many different study directions that people do. So also this gives a lot of different perspectives within SIB, which I think also makes it stand out from many other student associations that are out there.
We don't know, no questions so far. Maybe we can present the background for the events we have.
Yeah, maybe we can go through them again.
Yeah, or if anyone else joined in the
Yeah,
meantime.
if anyone else joined, in the International Week that we organize ourselves, which starts on September 7th, we'll have events all week long, mostly in the afternoon and in the evening. We start on Monday with an event by the Committee of Personal Development, which will have an event called Diplomatic Negotiations, a workshop. So it's really about developing people's own skills and also be able to learn from each other. Tuesday.
On Tuesday, we have a webinar with the UNHCR.
Yeah.
And the UNHCR is the UN Refugee Agency. So they'll talk a bit about what they do and how they work, and where they work, and probably also about how Corona has affected their work.
Yeah. Bob. Yeah.
So yeah, on Thursday, well, we'll be having Karel van Oostrom, which is the Dutch representative to the United Nations in New York. He will give a lecture and a webinar kind of setting in which we will talk about 75 years of the UN, because they will be having their anniversary. So yeah, that's really also a nice opportunity to connect again with someone who's not in Amsterdam, but a super interesting figure, especially in Dutch diplomacy.
Do we have any more questions? Oh yeah. On Friday, we will have a pub quiz. So that's where you get to meet other SIB members and where you get to socialize more. So that's our social event of the week.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, there's an MUN. So this is where you can use the diplomatic negotiations workshop to put it into effect, for example. And I think it will be international as well. So yeah, so you can connect with different people from around the world and do a model UN. And it's open to anyone, beginners and people who've already done several MUNs. So.
Yeah, so as you can see on the background here, all the events are posted on the website, and we have the sign-up forms there as well. So do please sign up if you plan to attend. This is just for us to know how many people are coming, and so we can prepare. So all the events are open and free. You don't have to be a member yet. This is really the opportunity for you to discover SIB, to see what kind of events that we do. And if you like it, then we would be very happy if you become a member, of course. And for those interested to become even more engaged within the association, these events are organized by the committees, and you can also join these committees. So if you want to have some experience in organizing such events, if you want to get a bit closer in touch with SIB and its members and some committees, then it's really possible. There's many opportunities to join these committees and to get some experience yourself as well. And then also on the social part, there are the societies, which Nuna already talked a bit about, which you can also join once you become a member. And this is also really much more about the social part, coming together to have fun, for dinner, for a movie, for a game, and doing something outdoorsy. And you could do anything. It's also always good to come up with your own ideas to implement these ideas. We're more than happy to listen to them and to help them. So do bring your ideas to SIB as well if you become a member. Anything else? Any questions?
Next question we have, again from EMA. What would you say you learned the most being part of SIB?
Should we both answer on our, so you have a bit of two perspectives? Well, I joined a year ago. I think I learned many things. I got to know many people, which I think is super valuable. I also have many friends now through SIB, so that's, I think, super nice. I traveled with SIB. I went to Jordan, where I was able to also visit an embassy, the UNHCR, the Refugees Agency of the UN, UN Women. So that's really super cool to get a look inside these organizations, to meet people there. So that's super valuable. And I was a member of a few committees. So I helped organizing some events, also the trip to Jordan. And this year I'll be doing a board year within SIB. So that's, of course, a super big experience in terms of hopefully learning a lot. I'm sure I will learn a lot. So it's also really very much about personal development. I see a picture on the background appearing right now. So that's me. Maybe you can shed a bit light on your experience.
I joined SIB 2 or 3 years ago, and my first SIB activity was a trip to Russia. So I did not start small, and I met several friends there that I'm still good friends with, and I learned quite a bit about Russian culture as well. So that's one thing that I've learned through SIB, is getting to know different cultures, both through traveling and through the other members. So that's something I've really enjoyed. And also visiting these organizations and seeing how they work is incredibly cool to see and really educational. So I think that's the other big thing that I've learned. Any other questions? Yeah.
Is it possible for freshmen to apply for vacancies in committees, and how to apply? So if you're completely new, you can still apply for a committee?
Yes, anyone can apply for a committee. And the way to apply is just through vacancies on the website, or you can email us and we'll make sure your application gets in well. So yes, absolutely. We welcome everyone. Yeah, well, if anyone was not here for the beginning,
On the background, you can see the name.
oh, great, yeah. So on our background of our website here, you can see our current vacancies if anyone's interested on SIB-Amsterdam.nl. For anyone who's joined recently, who wasn't here for the beginning of this live stream, maybe some more general information. We are a student association for international relations. That doesn't mean that we are only international relations students, just that we all share the interest in it. Yeah, we host lots of different kinds of events, both social and intellectuals, from lectures to workshops to drinks, travels, all sorts of things. And what else? We have about 200 members currently.
Yeah, so there's many different things to do. I think also for people who join a bit later, many might have questions about the how we normally organize events outside of Corona times and how we do it right now. So normally we have a monthly lecture, which is, for example, here where we're sitting right now, which is the theater's room in Crea at the UvA. So that's normally where we have the monthly lecture with some interesting speakers. Also, often many other students attending who are not a SIB member. The lectures are often well visited, especially if the guests who are coming are super interesting, of course. Normally we have drinks every Wednesday. We travel, of course, 4 times a year. We do external visits. I, for example, last year went to Greenpeace and Amnesty International. Also went to an embassy in The Hague. So yeah, there's many opportunities to get inside these organizations and to get to know people there. Maybe also find out a bit more about what you like yourself. So also about learning what can you learn in SIB. I think that's also something that's super valuable. Now that we have to do a lot of stuff online, we do some things we still continue to do. Some things are just a bit impossible. For example, having drinks, especially on a weekly basis, it's sometimes difficult, especially we're all at home. So having a beer in front of your own laptop is maybe not for everyone is the most attractive thing to keep your Wednesday evening reserved for. But the lectures still continue, and as we just told you about the events in the Fashion Week, we'll be doing these, and they work perfectly on Zoom. They give us many new opportunities. So also people who might be unable to attend normally could now attend just because they can do it from home through their laptop. So that's also an opportunity that we really try to make use of a lot. But still, we do really try to and hope to go back to some offline activities, even though we, of course, have to keep in mind all the regulations around the virus. But for example, in summer, we had drinks in the park. So that's really a way in between that we try to still connect with other members, especially if they're new, to have them not only see us through a camera, but also in real life. So do keep up to date with everything that we plan, because we will, I'm sure, have an opportunity to meet somewhere in this study year as well.
Bob, nog vragen? Vragen?
How long will it take per week after being a member of SIB? That's the question. Maybe Gloria, you formulate the question again within a different way. How long will it take per week
Maybe she means how
after being a
much
member
time.
of SIB?
Maybe she means how much time.
I think we got a question on how much time you spend at SIB. Well, that's like Nuno and me, for example, just told a bit about how active we have been in SIB, what we've done, what we have participated in. How much time you spend in SIB is totally up to you. Some people might attend one lecture a year. Some people might go to every event and have a SIB activity 2 or 3 times a week. So that's really something that's completely up to you. So feel free to also really make SIB your own and get involved in the way that feels comfortable for you. I don't know if you have anything to add today. Of course, if you join a committee or a society, it's also again a bit different. For example, if you're part of a committee, my experience is that they normally meet once a week or once every 2 weeks, depends on how busy they are and how much events they have going on. But if, for example, especially travel committee and the committee of intellectual events, they have either quite big events or regular events. So then meeting regularly is important for them. And I don't know, maybe we could say something about the societies, how often they come together.
We also have societies, so these are the more social type of circles where they each have a theme. So there's one for movies, one for cooking together, etc. And these meet once a month. So that's one evening in your month and nothing else, unless of course you want to join more SIB activities. Other questions?
Are the trips self-organized or do you have partners from different countries?
That's a good question. The trips are self-organized. We do all the organizing ourselves, but we meet partners there. They're not full partners, but we meet organizations there. So I guess if that makes sense, we do things with other partners, but we don't organize it with them. Do you have anything else?
What do you guys like most about being
What do we like most about being a SIB member? Very good question. Well, what I like about SIB, for example, I think I've always said that I would never probably join a student association because I had this specific idea of how a student association would be. And I'm not having anything against it, but I always just thought it would not be something for me, especially if you hear stories about hazing and stuff like that. Maybe it scared me a bit, and maybe it scared some other people as well, a bit from joining a student association in general. I think many people also ask, like, is it a student association or a study association connected to some, for example, IR studies? But no, we are a real student association. And what makes it different, and I think fun for me, is the openness and the not having any obligations at all. Just makes it very easy to join your first event, and then, as I've experienced, find out that you like it quite a lot, and then come back for some more events. So the openness and the non-existence of any obligations, I think, is for me very important. And of course, as I'm an IR student, international relations student, I just like it to have these lectures, to meet people with the same interests, to be able to go to these organizations and these trips. So yeah, that I think makes total sense regarding my studies. But of course, international politics is in the end super broad as well. There's many different themes, which I think also explain why so many different people with different study backgrounds are interested in SIB and are a member of SIB. And you might see these people joining specific events that, again, relate to their studies. Maybe you have a different answer, something to add?
Well, I think I had the same thing as you, where I thought I would never join a student association because I didn't like the idea of hazings and that kind of thing. But then I found SIB, and I thought it would be a really good way to meet people because I didn't know anyone when I first got here. And I did meet tons of people, and I found some really good friends. So I'm very happy about that. And I think the people are what makes SIB as well. So that's one of my favorite things about SIB, is just all these different people with different interests and different study backgrounds, but we do all share one interest, and that's international relations, which is relevant in so many topics that I think a lot of people can use it for their studies as well, even if they don't actually study international relations. Like, I study history, which is somewhat of an obvious connection, but I've often found things where I went to a SIB event or a lecture and I heard something about a topic that I didn't know much about, and then I later applied it to something I did for my own program. So I think that's really cool about SIB as well.
Who wins?
We're gonna rotate and let you talk to our other board members so they can also answer some questions.
And tell you why they joined.
Yes, they will also tell you why they joined and their favorite things. So you'll get to hear some different experiences. Okay, hi everyone. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Parel. I'm from Amsterdam, and this year I'm going to do a board here as well as Willem and Nula, and together with Mattea. So here we go.
Yeah, hello, I'm Mattea, and I'm from Berlin, Germany. I've been studying here since 3 years, and I just joined the SIB. And I'm the Commissioner of External Affairs this year.
Yeah. Yes, I'm going to be the Commissioner of Promotion. I forgot to mention that actually. Well, yeah, maybe I can tell you a little bit about why I joined SIB. I joined SIB last year. I'm also not an international relations student. I study health sciences at the VU. So it's also not that only UvA students join, but students from different universities and different study programs. So that's also what I found really interesting because I knew a lot of people from the VU, and now I get to know like more people from the UvA as well and from other study programs. So it's not that you have to do like a political program or anything. And I just joined because I was looking at the website because of all the really interesting travels that they organized and also because of the lectures. They also have a lot of topics, for example, about the World Health Organization, which is of course very interesting for me because I'm studying health sciences. So they have like a lot of topics of a variety of topics. So that's really interesting for me.
Yeah, let me say a little bit why I joined. Basically, a friend of mine was part of SIB, and then she told me about it, and it sounded really fun, and especially having this intersection between social activities and intellectual efforts sounded super appealing to me. So I really wanted to join, and so far I've really experienced it, as the others already said, as such an like inclusive group, and so interesting to meet people with very diverse backgrounds, study-wise, but also yeah, national-wise. Yeah, you just get new perspectives on topics. You can discuss things differently, and that's super interesting.
So also someone mentioned already before like a question when you can join a committee or a society. So when I joined SIB, you just get like a little talk with someone from the board, and they will tell you a lot of information. It will give you every information you want about the SIB and about all the committees they have and other societies. So that's also when I joined the CSA, which is the Committee of Social Activities. And then I also joined 2 societies, Cinemates, which is like a movie society. So you just go to a movie once a month with all the members of the society. And I also joined Dionysus, which is like the food and drink society. And then you organize once a month a dinner at someone's house, most of the time with a theme of food, for example, Mexican, and everyone just makes their own food and you just have dinner all together. So it's also that you don't only have like the intellectual part, which is also very interesting, but you also have like the social side. For example, every year we have like a Dies Natalis, where we celebrate the birthday of SIB with a dinner with a lot of people. And actually this year SIB turns
40, which is why we also have a Lustrum week in the spring. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, and I think in general, if you're looking to meet some new people or for like an association in general, but you want some more content than only like drinking 3 times a week together, something a bit more fundamental, then yeah, as we already said, like this might be really the right place for you, because it's nice to have people coming together with the same motivation, like this genuine interest in international relations, but then also at the same time being able to meet new people. Yeah.
Are there any more questions? No.
Maybe
Okay.
describing all the committees.
Oh yeah, of course. All the committees are on the website. So if you have any questions about that, you can ask it here, but you can also look on the website if you like that. So we have a lot of committees. For example, the CEA, which is the Committee of External Activities. It's actually already in the title. It organizes lectures. Then you also have the CIA. Maybe we can click on it, or is it difficult? The CIA of Intellectual Activities. Yeah, so as you can see, you can also go to the website and click on it, and you will get all the information. And then you can, of course, join the committee, but you can also just go to the activities. You don't have to be in the committee to go to the activities. Maybe some of you don't know that. Then, as I mentioned before, I was a member of the CSA, so the Committee of Social Activities. And for example, the activities that we organized were we went ice skating. We did like a ping pong sort of tournament. We celebrated Sinterklaas. And we also have the Christmas drinks every year and the New Year's drinks. And then you have a lot of like freedom to organize every kind of activity actually that you want, if you just, keep the budget in mind.
What topics do you usually cover during intellectual meetings?
Okay. Let me think if I know. Maybe you can answer.
I mean, I'm also a new member, but for Amber?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to come? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you want to come. I can also say one thing, and then you can tell me. Or you just want to come? It's very easy. In general, I would say what's so nice is that you really can cover any topic really. So say you're really passionate about one specific political topic, we really have the stage here in the room and also the willingness, to talk about this and discuss it. So I would say what's nice about this association is that you really have this really wide range of topics and not focus on one thing, but really anything, which makes it so interesting and also intriguing to join.
Maybe one of you can translate.
Yeah, here you go. Thanks.
So hi, I'm Emmer, and I was in the Committee of Intellectual Activities last year. I'm going to be the treasurer for next year's board. But in the Committee of Intellectual Activities, we usually, during meetings, discussed what was going on in the news and thought what was very interesting to talk about more, like to discover more and to learn about more. We tried to think of speakers that could have real insight into issues that were going on at that moment in the world, so that everyone could discuss and learn about things that we all thought interesting. So it was like we all have input in the committee, like what we thought was interesting, but also what we thought that a lot of people would find interesting. And I think we also wanted every topic to be to be able to have a discussion about it. So to be to have depth. So I think that kind of characterizes topics that we try to pick for the intellectual events.
What was one of your favorite topics of last year?
My favorite, I get this question quite a lot. My favorite was the one about the Sustainable Development Goals. We had a lecture about that because they existed for a number of years, or we will have halfway through having to reach them, something like that. And we had a lecture about it, and there were two people here. There was one person who was really into who was like in the ministry and was working on like the policies. And we had one lady here who was really working on the practical side, who really went to like different kind of initiatives and really saw like in real life how people were working with sustainable development goals. And they had a really nice interaction as well, because they don't ever meet each other really, because one's really policy and one's really like practical, but they both worked for the same thing that they both thought was really important and interesting, and they had a nice discussion with each other, and we had a nice discussion with them. So that was, I think, for me, the most interesting lecture, because we usually because it was really good that we had like such different perspectives on the same thing. Yeah, I really like that. Did you have a favorite lecture this year?
Well, for me, what was really interesting, I'm not actually sure if the CIA or the CEA organized it, but it was actually like a lecture online, because it was held from someone from the WHO, and it was about polio, which was very interesting for me because, of course, I study health sciences, and then, of course, with Corona, like all the focus is now on that disease, but of course there are like a lot of other diseases which are also really important, and they really talked about that we shouldn't, forget about the rest of the diseases, especially in the underdeveloped countries, of course. So for me, it was really interesting because it was online, and this person from the WHO, which is like responsible for the polio eradication of the world, he was just talking to us, online, but it was still very interesting. So it's just. It doesn't, of course, it's really cool to see someone in real life, but for me, that was actually really a cool lecture, which was online. So also now I think like the lectures are still really cool online as well, actually. Yeah.
Are there any other questions?
Are there any other questions?
Maybe some general repeat it.
Okay, so maybe for people who just joined, SIB stands for the Studentenvereniging voor Internationale Betrekkingen, the Dutch word, and then it's also called DUNSA, so the Dutch United Nations Student Association. We also have some other SIB student associations. We have one in Leiden, one in Utrecht, and one in Groningen. So all over the country, actually. We have about 200 members. Not everyone is as active, so it really depends on yourself, if you want to go to a lot of activities, or if you just want to go to activities when it's when you have the time. We have people from all kinds of studies, so not only international relations or politics, and also not only from the UvA, but also from the VU, for example. That's really interesting because you meet a lot of new people, and also a lot of international students, which I find very interesting because, everyone has, different cultures and different opinions, and that's why you have a lot of interesting conversations with people. And maybe you want to tell some more general stuff about SIB. More.
All the general stuff.
How often do we have lectures?
The lectures are once a month, usually. Sometimes there's a month when there's a lecture of us, but also maybe a cooperation with another organization. So there'll be like 2 lectures, but usually it's once a month. Yeah. I don't really know from the top of my head how often the other events are, but I think.
Maybe congratulate Magda. She just said she became a member right now.
Oh, congratulations. We're really glad. Hope to see you soon. With, of course, the distance or online. But it's really nice that you joined. About the other activities, it depends a little bit. I think the CSA organizes an event also once a month. Yeah, but for example, sometimes the month is a bit busier, so sometimes twice a month and then another month not. So, but I think approximately 1 month also. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. And then you have the introduction week, which starts at September 7th. We have, of every committee, we have an event, and you can just go to the website and then, you can subscribe, just so we know that how many people are coming. So it's all free, and you don't have to be a member yet. You can just subscribe yourself to the event and then join. So that's just a nice way to see if SIB is a fit for you. So yeah, just go to the website and you can see all the events which are there.
On the website.
On the website. So the website is SIB-Amsterdam.nl. Yeah, you can also go to the Facebook page. All the events are also there. So just what you prefer, I think. Also on the website, you can just read everything about SIB. If you just want to take your time and just think if it's a fit for you. Yeah, so the societies. In the introduction week, we don't have societies events because it's a bit difficult to do that online, and we have to do all the events online for the introduction week because of the government policy. But you can, of course, ask a lot of questions online at the events, or you can just contact us through email or through Instagram, through anything. If you have any questions about a society, and you can also read on the website what the societies are about and check the vacancies with the spots, so you can join the societies once you've become a member.
We have another question. Is there something someone who doesn't study international relations should know before joining? Knowledge in certain fields or expertise?
Well, I'm not studying international relations, so no. Actually, you don't have to know anything. Of course, it's nice if you, know a little bit about politics, but yeah, you can also just go to a lecture and then you can learn from the lecture. So actually, you don't have to know anything. It's just more if you're interested in it, then it's nice to join SIB. So it's not like you have to know anything before you join SIB. No, not really. And maybe you can tell us something about your study program. Maybe that's interesting to know a little bit more about Amber.
Well, I study econometrics, so that's not international relations or anything politics related. And I actually joined SIB because my study is quite mathematical and just technical, but I'm also interested in politics and international relations and diplomacy. I'm not even sure if I want to do anything with it. I just find it interesting. And I joined SIB because I just liked the lectures, and I thought there was a diverse group of people I could maybe connect with. And I also joined the Committee of Intellectual Activity, so I could just be more like, work more with it, like to learn about it and to just experience it a bit. So that's maybe kind of answers your question, because I really didn't know anything about international relations or politics before I joined. I actually joined to learn more about it. And it's not that I'm an expert now, but I've certainly learned a lot in the last year. So yeah, I think it's really nice. Like you don't need any knowledge, and you can learn a lot. And it's good to find it interesting because it still is an international relations association. So a lot of the events will be centered around some part of politics or international relations. And why did you join SIB?
Actually, I wanted to go to join a student association because I was already part of my study association. But I thought it would be fun to, get to know more people, who weren't studying the same as me, because also maybe know a little bit more people with different study backgrounds and also with different cultures. And I also saw that they organized a lot of cool travels. Of course, now that's a little bit difficult because of coronavirus. And of course, we don't know in the future how it's gonna be. And also, because of the, it was just really open. I went to an introduction event actually from Dionysus, I think. Yeah, from Dionysus. And just everyone was really open and kind, and we just had a meal together, and it was really relaxed, and just, there were so many people with different thoughts about like everything, but it just worked because you can just, get to be yourself, I think. So yeah, there was just a really nice atmosphere, and that's actually why I joined, I think. Yeah. Are there any more questions? Or maybe. Okay.
Maybe where to find out events.
The events of the introduction week, of course, very important because then, then you get to know SIB for real. We start with let me see the date, September 7th, which is a workshop about diplomatic negotiations. And it's just, you don't have to be a member to join. You can just go to the website and subscribe, and then you can, join the event. And then on September 8th, we have a SIB webinar. I don't think I know it by head. And okay, September 10th, I think there is a lecture. Yeah, you can just see here that all you have to do is write down your email address, your first name, last name, and then you can just join. So just go to the website if you're interested. The website is SIB-Amsterdam.nl. And I think it's just nice to join because then you actually know what it's like to be a member of SIB. And it's nice because every committee has one event, so you can just go to everyone and just see what you found interesting. Actually that's it, I think. If there are any questions, we still have a few minutes left, so don't hesitate to ask us anything.
We do have one.
Yeah, you see. Okay, so no more questions.
Just one more time, where to find us?
So if you just want to know anything about us, just visit the website SIB-Amsterdam.nl or go to the Facebook page or Instagram page, so you get to know us a little bit more. And I hope to see you all at least at one of the introduction events, and I hope you join SIB. It would be really nice. Thank you all for your time. It was really nice to do this live stream. Quite interesting, also very new for us. I think quite different than normal, but yeah, also really cool.
Thank you.